Go guys, fish on. Didn't take too long. That's a nice fish. Oh, he got out of my net. Uh-oh. Freaking out. Oh, that leader is destroyed. So I'm running a double bead setup. One of my beads got hooked in the net. He was still flopping around. Gosh, that looks like a steelhead. Definitely got to be a coho, but just the colors on that look steelheady. So guys, nice, beautiful coho. Sweet. Fish on, guys, and he's going crazy. Jiminy Christmas, guys. This fish he's going psycho. Pretty sure he ate the bottom bead too. That incognito. Oh, and he's off. There he goes. Gone. Guys, it's been tough today. I fished around trying to find fish somewhere else. Couldn't. Came here, got one right off the bat. I've been here for probably, I don't know, 2.5 or 3 hours. And that's the first one I've hooked within that time frame. I hooked one as soon as I got here, but other than that, it's been really slow. So I know a lot of you guys have been doing some videos of us out here catching coho. Caught a few today, fishing these beads. And there's a lot of people asking, what are you using, you know? So for the rod, it's real simple. I mean, anything, I like to go over 9 foot. This is a 9'2" Guide Flex Pro, but anything 9'9", 10'6", you can go big with the rod or for length, but I like to stick with something over 9 foot is standard. The longer you go, the easier it is going to be to mend, but out here, as you can see, it's a really small river, so you don't need, you know, a 10.5 foot rod out here if you don't want to. So anyway, I'm running braided line as my main line. Got a bobber stop up there. Got a slip float. This is just bobber, just slides right on your line. Got a little bead above that. Got a little 3-way swivel to a Dave's Tangle Free. And then off the other end, I've got a leader. Now this leader, I'm running 10-pound fluorocarbon out here. Small river, clear water. I feel like I can get you more bites. So 10-pound fluoro, got a split shot. Got my first bead. That one there is a B&R bead. And it's just pegged with one of the B&R stops. About 2 finger lengths above a hook. That's probably a size 2 hook. Then I'm tying on a second one, as you can see, right to that shank of that hook. Dropping back to another bead. This one here is the Randy Bell's Incognito bead, which is a hard bead that has a soft covering on it. And you may be asking, well, what's the difference between a hard and a soft bead? Why do you fish one over the other? A soft bead, they're soft and squishy, so I feel like when the fish grab them, they don't spit them out quite as fast. They still realize they're not real, you know, at some point, but these fish, they think it's real. They think it's egg, you know, they think that's an egg cluster or a single egg floating down the river. They grab it. As soon as they grab it, they know it's not real. They spit it out. So that soft bead, they kind of hang on to it just a second longer. You can soak them in scent. They take up your scent really well. You know, I've got in my pocket here, got some Procure scent. Been running a couple different scents and a couple different flavors of the scent. And so you can soak them in there and they hold scent really well. And so the downside with that with running the soft bead is they do tear up. They're just soft plastic, kind of like a worm, you know, soft plastic. They do tear up after a couple fish, or you hook set a couple times, they slide over that stop and they're pretty much done for. At that point, throw them away, or you know, if you're into that, you can melt down the plastic and remake beads if you make beads, but most of us are just going to throw them away at that point. Now these incognito beads, what they've done is they took a hard bead. It's Randy Bales that did this. He's an awesome fishing guide and created these beads here. These are a hard bead. They got, you know, just a normal hard bead, and then I don't know exactly how he does it, but somehow he puts this soft coating on it, so it's like a hard bead with a soft shell on the outside. And I love these beads. I've caught a ton of coho on them lately. Can't wait to really fish them hard for steelhead this winter. Caught a ton of coho on them. I feel like it's the best of both worlds. You get that soft shell, so when the fish come up and they grab that bead, they still hang on to it a little longer, but it's that hard inside, so you can put a stop on. And I just used a rubber bobber stop to peg that bead. Well, that rubber bobber stop will never rip through that bead because it's hard on the inside. So it's never gonna actually rip through. These beads, you can catch hundreds of fish on them before they actually, I mean, really, they're not gonna get torn up. Then eventually, even if that soft outside gets so ripped up you can't use it, you could take that hard, the soft outside off and just fish it like a normal hard bead. So these beads are pretty awesome. They never slip down over your stop. I like to peg them with a bobber stop. You could also tie in like an inline peg that's fixed. It'll never move. So literally you could set the hook a million times and that bead will never slide down. But that's a little smaller hook. I think that's a size 4 hook maybe, because that's a little bit smaller bead. But that's what I'm running out here. Really simple. You know, people think it's complicated, but it's a simple setup. Slip bobber, you run a leader. My leader's probably, I don't know, 4 foot down to my first bead, and then maybe another 2 feet down to my second bead. So probably a 6 foot leader, so it is a little hard to cast sometimes. If you're an advanced or more advanced, you can run a double. If you're, you know, new to fishing, maybe just run a single bead setup. Don't add that second one trailing. But I do catch a lot of fish on that bead that's trailing that back there. It's really natural, just kind of bounces around behind that first bead. So anyway, I'll let the hole rest for a few minutes and I'm gonna hit it again and catch a couple more fish. All right, we got a hot little chromer here. And I hooked it almost like a steelhead, the way it just shot off. Little girl right there. Beautiful coho. Sweet.